Okay, we're going to discuss this now with Mustafa, an assistant professor of Iran studies at Saqqara University's Middle East Institute. Thanks again for joining us. So when we outline those two weapons that are now being used, what does it tell us about the escalation of this crisis and why Iran has chosen this time to use such munitions?
The previous conflicts which were erupted between Iran and Israel, I think we can start from counting from November 2024, and after that another round was in June 2025, this 12-day war. And now we are seeing that Iran is increasing its usage of these missiles and increasing its deterrence capacity, actually showing its deterrence capacity. And step by step, actually, they are escalating more and more. At first, they claimed that they were using the old drones, old missiles, but they have the capacity, they have the brand new missiles, well developed and very well effective in, hitting precisely the targets and creating huge damage. So they were claiming that, but they were not using those weapons, those missiles. But now we are seeing that they are using these new missiles like Khorramshahr 4, Khaybar Shekan. These are really effective tools, missiles that Iran has developed throughout years. Iran's missile technology goes back to 40 years before. So they are escalating step by step because they have their calculations, and these calculations as a part in its position in the broader geopolitical strategic calculus of Iran. So that's why they haven't used all at once, but step by step they are introducing these new
Mustafa,
missiles.
does this also speak to the fact that many people have said Iran is fighting for survival now? It's in this war of attrition and it's in it for the long game. So as you say, they've developed these weapons over a period of 40 years. Do we have any idea about their stockpile and what they're capable of still going forward?
Actually, yes, Iran has prepared itself for a prolonged battle. So I think that's why they are introducing these missiles now. And also, war of attrition is more costly for the United States than Iran, because Iran is actually seasoned with these protracted wars in the region. They fought against Iraq for 8 years in the 1980s. So they managed this proxy warfare around the region at least 14, 15 years, starting from the Arab Spring. So they are seasoned, they are very well trained, and they were expecting this war to be a prolonged one, and they actually announced that if they were going to be attacked by Israel and the United States, they said they will turn this war into a regional one and a prolonged one. So they were waiting for this, actually.
Do you think, sorry to interrupt you there, I'm just wondering then, the weapons that we've outlined, do you think that they will use them solely on Israel, as we've already seen, or they will also use them against the Gulf neighbors?
According to their official narrative, they are not targeting Gulf nations, but they are targeting the U.S. military bases across the Gulf. That's their official narrative. But of course, there is a distance between the official narrative and the reality on the ground. So yes, they are using these missiles against the UAE, against other countries in the region. And coming to your previous question, actually no one knows about their stockpiles. The actual number, no one knows. If anyone knows that Iran has left that much number of missiles, actually they are speculating. because this is very, Iran has conducted a very rigid and opaque policy when it comes to its, missile development. So we don't know. But we know that their, missile salvos, drone salvos, has been has been decreasing when it compares to the first days of the war. So it maybe the reason could be their launchers got attacked, or munitions have been depleted, or strategically they are preserving, they are retaining their stocks for a prolonged war. So maybe they are calculating that.
So there could be many scenarios playing out here.
Scenarios.
You mentioned something earlier about the Iraq-Iran war that lasted 8 years, and some analysts have said, look, Saddam Hussein went into Iran thinking that this was going to be quick, almost comparing it to Vladimir Putin going into Ukraine thinking it would be over in a very short space of time. When it comes to the U.S. and Israel's actions against Iran over the last 3 weeks, do you think they have perhaps underestimated the Iranian regime?
Surely they have underestimated, they have miscalculated. I think, and Trump was misinformed about the capacity, and he actually admits that. He said that no one told me about Iran could really close the Strait of Hormuz. He said that. So Trump was misinformed. He doesn't know about the capacity. I'm not mentioning here the military superiority. I'm mentioning Iran's capacity to produce costs, imposing costs on other nations, on the region, on financial markets, on oil prices. They disrupted the whole maritime activities around the Gulf, So this is underestimated. This capacity is underestimated. So I think there is a miscalculation on the U.S. side. Israel doesn't care about these miscalculations because they got U.S. support, so they don't care. They don't care how long this war will resume, but Trump cares because there is this looming midterm elections. Trump needs to stop and exit from this war. So I think this is a really big problem for Trump right now, and he was misinformed and he miscalculated Iran's response.
And the global impact is severe right now as well. Mustafa Jana, really good to get your analysis.
Thank you very much. Thank you.